working in the material world outside. So what the satsang does, satsang says no. What you have been working is your false side. You have to find what is real. Once you discover what is real, you will be in the state of permanent peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. That is the essence of the satsang. You have to be very clear about it. So that is why in satsang, a traditional teacher will not teach anything from him or her. He will pick up the principle or she will pick up the principles of the Eastern wisdom and they, he will talk about it. Third point in the satsang, very important, you have to make clear distinction. Distinction between what? Between the professor who is teaching you in the university or college or school. What they teach? Objective reality. What the motivational speaker teach? Objective reality. Just think, all objective reality. So satsang, why it is known as satsang? Because it helps your mind to move towards the subjective reality. So it has nothing to do with the motivational speech or you can say, you know what you say is stress management or anger management. By the way, you get all the benefits. You get all the benefits. Once you understand, just so simple, you understand that you are of the nature of peace and happiness. Simple. So it means the stress and anxiety is coming from outside, reaction is coming from outside. We'll talk in detail. Close your eyes. Let us do fast Sahasra. The first step is settle the mind. Settle the mind. Again, you check. What does it mean by settling the mind? So you settle the mind in the real. That is the basic meaning. But we prepare for it. So somatic awareness, place, position, and posture. Sensation, comfort, and steadiness. I'm not explaining, you already know it. And then you start noticing. What do you notice? The thought, feeling, and emotions. What? They are uninvited, they are unwelcome, they are this that causes the distraction and the wandering. Do you have ever any thought before you are exposed to the Eastern wisdom? You had an unwanted thought, here is the real self. No, that is why Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu. Pay attention, be very rational, find the cause and effect. And once you have a right knowledge and understanding, and then you practice, it will give you the result the very first time, very first day. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. May there be happiness for all. Sarvesham, Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. May there be peace for all. You may be doing in the mind mantra. Again, I will talk about it a bit. I got some thought. Sarvesham Manga Purnam Bhavatu. May there be completeness for all. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu, may there be auspiciousness for all. If you see in all the four lines of the mantra, it is pointing it is pointing the mind towards the subjective reality, not the objective reality that needs to be understood clearly, digested, and then you change the mantra. It will have 1,000 times more powerful, more Powerful. So you have been saying mantra. What is this? Let me make it simple. To think consciously plus instrument. Instrument is the mind. To think consciously by an instrument known as the mind is known as the mantra. So it means you are thinking consciously. You are not inviting unwanted, unwelcome thoughts. And whenever you think consciously, that is one meaning. Another meaning that, no, when I say you are crazy, so what happens to you? You have a sense of reaction. So every word has a power. So same way, this, this, every mantra has a power. So when you are saying, now I gave you one liner to make you clear about this, Mangalacharana, Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu. May there be happiness for all. Can you imagine? Can you create an image of happiness in your mind? So a sense of total good space. Good space is there means in that space there is no darkness, there is no negativity. It is all about empty, infinite space. So when you are saying, may there be happiness for all, your mind sense that image and then you say the mantra. So that is the essence. The moment the mind lives in the infinite space, it is the state of the happiness. Same thing with the peace, same thing with the completeness. Because there is no two, there is only one space. In the beginning, I will talk in detail about this later. So this all forms the part of the satsang. When you say someone, he or she is my partner, so you have an entire image of that, entire image in the mind. So our masters have discovered that, with image, mantra with an image, plus the knowledge, the awareness. Knowledge is awareness and understanding. That is going to change you very fast. So that is again, you can say it is all about satsang. What is something association? Satsang means, roughly talk, etc., etc. So now open your eyes. So we have to go for sharing our experiences. Sahasra. Uh, settle your mind, assess and audit your life daily, hold and apply the principles of Eastern wisdom, and then we have Sahasra. Uh, then absorb through the satsang, that is the topic we have been taking. And then absorb the satsang, and then what happens? The next step is S again, samvad. I use the word Sanskrit word. It's a reflective dialogue. Means that you go deeper into the satsang and then you recall, you keep the memory, right memory about these principles of Eastern wisdom. Normally, what happens? Yes, yesterday also I have an anxiety, I reacted. We keep a memory of those things because the mind is so much focused on the objective reality. So let us start with Stephen.
Thank you, sir. Things are all good. The simplest way is I'm just going with the flow. Um, just the last few days, I've recognized whether it be friends, family, business. There's just so much gossip that people try to draw you into, and I would actually say that it's been a instantaneous discernment in which I say, nope. not interested, not getting involved, and it's almost comes off as being not caring or uh, lack of sensitivity to the entire thing. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's just not setting me. I'm not going there with you on that one. So I'm leaning into the Eastern wisdom and the principles that we've learned and stopping it. So thank you.
Beautiful. So what Stephen is saying, he's saying to his mind, no, I'm not entering into the gossip. He is not saying to anyone outside. If you say anyone outside, you will end up fighting. It is the inner discernment. So the moment the gossip starts, it belongs to the objective reality. I have to live with the subjective one. So you still be in the part of the people, part of the group, but you adopt a different strategy. Otherwise, this crazy mind will be carried. It takes you to the same gossip, you'll fall into the same anxiety and stress. How are you, Dennis?
I'm fine, and everything is fine. I'm practicing, observing, contemplating, reflecting. No challenges in the last 2 days. What I noticed is that the things that I was taking very seriously before, uh, now I understand that they are just a part of this game, the game of life. So
Yeah,
they are just gradually losing their importance to me. That's my.
beautiful, beautiful point. Previously, the gossip used to be a very important thing for me, for the mind. But now I understand what is satsang association with the real. That is more important to me. It loses its importance. If it anxiety loses its importance, reaction loses its importance. How are you, David and Jerry?
Thank you, sir. Yeah, overall good. I mean, it's life continues on, good moments, bad moments, but I find myself like not being sticky to any of those or not, kind of like pushing the reset button, reset kind of thing. That's just very freeing. So thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. Reset button. Reset button simply means that mind, why you are going after the objective reality, their peace and happiness is not there. Now you see, you continue to do what you are doing. You have withdrawn your mind from the objective and settled in the subjective reality. That leads ultimately to awakening. How are you, Christina? Oh, sorry. How are you, Jerry?
Doing good, thank you. Just to kind of tag on to the gossip and Dennis as well, it's when I feel like when we're in the midst of this conversation or gossip, there's a lot of assumption made, and then everything's on the outside, on the object, and so the moment that we don't participate in that, because the assumptions kind of make us crazy, like we don't know what other people's intent are. We only can maybe figure out what our own intent is, and then and it's really freeing. So yeah.
You are right. You know what happens? You start thinking consciously. You start participating in a gossip consciously. And the next minute, it becomes an opinion. It becomes an assumption. It becomes an idea. This president is not good. Now, the one who favors that president, now they will come out and they will start arguing. There is no result at all. For example, I'm saying. So it makes you more aware. So that is why I define the one essence of the mantra. Mantra, man, mind, to think. Man means to think. Tra, instrument, to think consciously by an instrument. It means you don't allow this instrument the unwanted, unwelcome thoughts. You invite unwelcome thought, it becomes a gossip. and it is definitely going to cause you the problem. How are you, Christina? You have to write a book. You prepare a note, write a book. We will be the co-author. Yeah, go ahead. Nah, you can be a single author. I have no problem. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I think I've definitely gotten caught up in anxiety the past couple of days, had some challenges. When I look at work tasks that I need to do, the amount of tasks, my perception is more than what I can fit into my schedule. And I've gotten caught up in that overwhelm and that thinking, and then trying to step back, use discernment and vigilance to come back to our practices. So it's been a little bit of back and forth.
Back and forth. Yes, yes. There is a progress, but we have to reach to that higher state. How are you, Barbara?
I'm good, thank you. I had a pretty calm week last week. I was talking to a girlfriend of mine, and her son has some very bad physical problems. And I said to her, well, how are you coping with it? And she said, I'm okay. She said, I listen to him, I do what I can do, and then I don't think about it. And I thought, oh my goodness, she's got the capacity to do that. That's wonderful. And then I realized that according to Eastern wisdom, everyone has the capacity to do that.
Beautiful example, because you observed. So normally what happens when you have this kind of a conversation coming from your friend, the gossiping mind, look at this crazy. I know. She is not at all concerned about the son. That is not being concerned. That is being my mind is reactive to it. Whatever has to happen will happen. Let me remain in the state of what the Stephen says, discernment. Whatever I have to do, let me do it the best way. Then it is all. You are right. That was a good lesson for you also. Jackie. Uh, yes. How are you, Christina?
Thank you. I have, on that topic, actually, I have realized that I, by myself, leaning into being more and more with the real and not with the outside gossip or stresses, because my fault, I've found, is my loved ones. If my close and near and dear are going through anxiety and stress, I kind of absorb it. And so lately I've kind of just not let that absorb, because I'm like, there's no good by adding, just like what Barbara was saying, like, there's no good to adding stress and anxiety, because my stress is not going to make it better. Like, the situation is going to be as it is. So that was kind of my aha. So it's so funny that you just brought that up.
Yes, yes. It is very important. And in one word, if you define satsang, company and association with the real, the guy is in anxiety. My mind is in anxiety. It is the objective reality. Let me remember what is the company and association of this mind with the real. You move into the state of discernment. And the moment you move into the state of discernment, the life changes, perspective changes, perception changes. That is what our masters have been talking about, moving towards awakening. So we had left. Yes, Samir, you want to share something?
Yes, sir. I have been doing, actually, whenever I come from my shop, actually, this is the time I am coming from my shop. And after dinner, I just sit and contemplate on all the results of what I have done since morning. What I
Beautiful.
have done since morning, I start contemplating what I did and what I got. what I got happiness, I got sorrow. I am in, मैं दुखी हूँ, मैं सुखी हूँ, मैं अच्छा हूँ, मैं बुरा हूँ, मेरे को क्या मिला पूरा काम करके. So that's what I have been contemplating daily for 15-20 minutes, and that is
Yes.
helping me a lot. I
Yeah.
am I am having a distance from those activities which are giving me unhappiness or sorrow,
Yes.
or means whatever
Yeah.
I am.
You are able to analyze and reflect. That is the wonderful thing. Every day you return from the shop at home and you start contemplating and reflecting. What I never thought of it, but this is a good question. That today, how many activities gave me happiness, and how many activities resulted into unhappiness? Simple assessment and auditing your life. And unhappiness includes anxiety, reaction, duality, gossip. And the happiness is only associated with only one thing. You are associated with the real, that is why you are happy. Beautiful sharing. We are moving in a right direction, this entire group. I really appreciate. How are you, Webhub?
Thank you, sir. So everything is fine. It's just in the last couple of days, like it's an incident where I was just sharing something to someone, and the other person took it in a different way and said something which otherwise I would have reacted in the past. But at this point of time, I realized that the statement they were making is having a lot of assumptions in that, and what I am going to say will also have a lot of assumptions in that. So I said to my mind, like, no, I will keep quiet now. I will not share anything now, because it will create the conversion will not happen now. Only the confusion will happen, and I will share my confusion with the other person, and they will share the confusion with me. So I kept quiet, and the things will go smoothly, and it was gone.
Beautiful. You see, this kind of a contemplation and reflect, you all are reflecting on that. You are already absorbing the very power of this Eastern wisdom completely. That is what, I always wanted you to offer, and it is happening. That is really good. The moment where you withdraw from the real. You withdraw to the real. You are leaving the objective reality. Assumption, and then my assumption, and then I will enter into an argument. Better to leave it and check that my mind is. This is what happens. You have a fragrance of the Eastern wisdom. You maintain that in that conversation. I explained you last week. You go to a perfume shop, huh? You can frame. You can go to the perfume shop. You spend half an hour. You test, lot of things, and put it there. When you return home, and you still feel the fragrance, it means your mind is receptive. You are a seeker. So in every satsang, you receive that fragrance, and you keep that fragrance with you in your personal, in your professional, in your social and the family life. So that is the inner transformation, inner change. Satsang basically, we are still talking of the satsang, because satsang leads you, it brings you everything. Satsang helps you to know the different practices. It inspires you to contemplate and reflect. Why you contemplate and reflect? For what? You contemplate and reflect on the real self. So the gradually and progressively, the mind starts keeping a big distance between the entire material world. It does not mean that you lose it. There's a big distance, big gap, big gap. So the moment you have a big gap, you are the observer. The rest, the entire world is the objective reality. And the moment you have this gap, anxiety loses its hold, anger loses its hold, the reaction loses its hold. In other way, it is the power of the discernment many masters have. So it is silently touching your mind with the real every moment. And that helps you to find and discover and awaken to the happiness within. Question. If satsang is so good, why don't we live in it all the time? I told you Eastern wisdom is 200% logical. Science is only 100%. So our masters answers this question. Many masters answers differently. So one answer that I remember, if satsang is so good, this is the real, this is the mind. Mind is going outside, mind is going inside. Going outside, going inside. So now if satsang is so good, why don't we live in it all the time? First reason is the ignorance. I don't know my real nature. I never heard of it. I never believe it. There is no belief pending inquiry that I am of the nature of the happiness. I am that ignorant. When I am that ignorant, then what happens? Then who am I? I am the body, I am the mind, I am the role, I am the job, I am the position, I am the possession, and this is what all the ignorance is. So now I am the body, then I have a handsome body, you don't have it. Likes and dislikes will come. You see the process. The mind starts gossiping inside, and it creates the entire chain of anxiety, duality, conflict. Now his house looks very good. Now his car, or his, or her. You see, first thing that I don't know the real self. That is one thing. But then what I know is the false I, and I stick to it. And that is why I have an attachment. That is why I have an anxiety. That is why I have a reaction. My mind is going back again to Christina. I'm holding back what is not real causes me the anxiety. First reason. Second is the ego. So I go little deeper than the ignorance. For hell with this guy. I have done this, I have done this. Ego. Ego with reference to power, pleasure, possessions. There is a subtle ego, very intelligent ego. Many people who have left these group or other group, it is also because of the ego. I have understood what is talking is that they cannot say I'm talking all rubbish, but they will leave it. Third reason is the extreme attachment and aversion, attachment and detachment. I will only hear what I like. Just a couple of you have all shared regarding the gossip. I only hear what I like. I will scroll past what challenges me. No, no, I will. That is, if satsang is so good, why don't we live in all the time? Fourth reason, past impressions, sanskaras. There is a reflex section. What the hell, you are saying me, you are. No, I have the power of discernment. As someone you said, in conversation has an assumption, you don't go after the assumption. Another reason, mind since our birth have been heavily educated, trained, or you can use the word conditioned in the company of objective reality. We have been mind is heavily conditioned. So the mind continues to sit in the company of objects. When you sit in the company of objects, people, events, they can convert into incidents. Okay, let me ask you a simple question. You find the closest person who is nearest to you. Can your mind say there is 100% trust? 100%. If you answer it instantly, then I will ask another question. Did you have no anxiety, no reaction against him or her? No, I reacted many a times. That 100% trust is not there. So masters conclude that when you have any objective reality, it may be a person, event, relationship, it can trigger the impulsive mind any moment. And it makes you forget the subjective reality. And it forgets you to the subjective reality, then you are open to anxiety and reaction and duality and a conflict and a stress. It is different than the modern psychology. Understand it clearly. What satsang do? If I answer this question, satsang prevents you to live in stress and anxiety. Prevents you. It does not manage his anxiety, because anxiety is irrelevant the moment your mind is in association with the real. When you are 100% sure that I'm of the nature of the peace and happiness, where is the question of these triggers, these reactions, these dualities, these conflicts? Doesn't mean that you don't shout. That's why I spoke with a higher pitch. But again, why? Again, answer why. Go on answering why until you reach to the ultimate reality. The moment my mind is engaged with the objective reality, I should have a thought. You know? Pay attention. It's a little deeper, but not very deep, so that you have been attending, so you can easily understand. The moment I am in the world, it has to be expressed in the form of a thought. I forget what emotion is behind that thought, behind that speech, behind that action. So when I forget, it is ignorance, it may be ego, it may be the past impressions, it may be the reaction, and that reaction, emotion, feeling is expressing a particular thought, means you are expressing a particular emotion in relationship to the objective reality. It contains an element of attachment, it contains an element of desire, it contains an element of anxiety, confusion. That is what is all about the gossip is. So what the satsang does? Satsang demands, what am I dwelling on? What I'm thinking on? So the moment you ask this question, I explain you the mantra. Mantra means, it has two syllables. Man. Man means to think. And tra means the instrument. So now I am thinking consciously by an instrument. I am not inviting unwelcome, unwanted thought. When you are not inviting, you are thinking consciously, you are already in the mode of discernment. And in the mode of a discernment, you find out what is the right choice. The moment you have a right choice, your mind starts moving to the real, the mind calms down, you are free. As you already mentioned, all of them, about assumption, about not entering into the gossip, you are free. That is the beauty of the satsang. Satsang, remember, satsang makes you, the last point, satsang makes you a seeker. You're not a seeker, no worries. You keep on listening consistently, contemplate and reflect. Satsang makes you a seeker of you, not by effort alone, but by quiet turning towards what is always there, what is always in me. To sit in satsang is to sit with the real. Not you are not sitting with me, you're not sitting with anyone, you're sitting with the real. That that awareness should be developed in these sessions from today onward. To sit in satsang is to sit with the real, not the shifting shadows of the world, but that which neither comes nor goes. I have to maintain my awareness. Before the beginning of a session, during the session, after the session, there is something that neither comes nor goes. Are you getting it? I hope so. That never comes, that never goes. That is the real life. The mind long wandering, chasing fragments of happiness and passing in event, in people, in relationship. It begins to listen to you. The mind that is not listening to you previously because it was attached and obsessed with the world outside, now it starts listening to you. The mantra. Again, mantra. Remind yourself, mantra. You start listening. Your mind listening to you. No, 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 I'm real. Why I'm unnecessarily attached? Why I'm insisting someone they have their own independence. No, no, he is my husband, or she is my wife, or he is my. Uh, you lose that. You lose that reactive tendencies. You lose that distraction. You do lose that restlessness. You lose that outward bound movement of the mind. It doesn't mean that you are not aware or to whom you are talking. The mind whispers in you, what you seek is not out there. Cool down, calm down. A new attention is born, not towards objects, but towards being itself. The mind, once scattered, wandering, now it is easily gathered. It is already inside. So you need not to focus. It is already natural focus. I have repeated last year that you have a natural focus. Now I am explaining. There is a natural focus. Mind is not running after anything of the objective reality. Oh, I have to go to the office. Yes, let me go to the office and drive. So whenever the driving comes, you drive. Whenever you have to express your thought, you express it. When your mind says no, don't express, you don't express. Whenever you are hungry, you eat it. Why to worry about it? Why the mind should be scattered? It's a natural focus. Mind people say this is a miracle. It's not a miracle. It can be achieved. This is not a miracle. Not the light appears, but we recognize it was never absent. Now I recognize that natural focus is never lost. It's always there. Why it seems lost? Because of ignorance, because of ego, because of attachment and detachment, because mind has to spend a lot of energy. Oh, look at this, I love him, but he hates me. Okay, really. Unnecessarily. Unnecessarily. Are you getting it? What I'm saying? Unnecessarily, mind keeps on thinking. Oh, did you love this guy since your birth? No. in between, I got attracted. Now, some thoughts are coming, but I will talk in later. What exactly is the love? What are the three main conditions of the love? We'll talk about it later. First condition, that you are not at all attracted. You love for the sake of love. You're not attracted by any quality. That quality may come and go. Oh, he's a very soft spoken, and after a week, and he spoke harshly. He speaks very softly. That is why I love him. Now he speaks harshly. What to do? We go so deep into the wandering ends, distraction falls, silent, impurities lose their hold, delusion finds no ground, and that is the right achievement of attending the satsang. Again, I'm repeating, wandering comes to an end. Naturally, you need not to focus. Modern psychology has been trying for the last 250 years how to focus. Did you achieve some result? Christian, no result. You cannot achieve any result. I'm telling you, I'm challenging even the side. The wandering comes to an end. There is no need to wander. There is no need to distraction. Impurities lose their hold. Delusion finds no ground. And your mind naturally moves within. Let us move the mind naturally within. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. So when you close your eyes, please position and posture. Very good. And then sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Check, recheck. You have already understood. So, very understanding helps you to move the mind consciously. I said, I'm again saying your practice is to your thinking by an instrument consciously, which helps you to experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness. But this statement belongs to the Saturday session because we are not doing anything. Both mixture should be there. Now we have reached to that state. So then you start noticing thoughts, feeling, emotions. Yes, very good. Keep on noticing, noticing. And in that noticing the thought, you have noticed the thought, you notice feeling and emotions. You also notice the body. You also now notice the flow of the breath. You directly jump onto that. So you can, if you want to teach others, you can pick up the steps from here, but you should know how to bridge previous step with the next step. So what I said again, you are noticing the thought is there. Yes, they are coming and going. You are not attached to them. Feeling is there, not attached to them. Emotions, yes. Now you're also feeling the body. Sensation, comfort, and steadiness. You're not carried away by it, by that experience. And then gently you move to the breath. Here is the breath. Here is the flow of the breath. So what I did, I braced from previous step with the next step. It should not be done, without bracing. You as a teacher or as a seeker, I should know that connection. And then you are looking at the breath. But first, let us start breathing deep, silent, and slow. Again, I'm saying, are you thinking consciously about deep, silent, slow breathing? Yes, then move the mind with every breath going in. You move the mind from the top center of the head down into the spine, reaching to the tailbone. During inhalation, your mind is singing Om Shanti, that drops at the tailbone. During exhalation, your mind is lifted up while breathing out Om Shanti. And your Shanti, you feel the sensation at the top center of the head. And Om, you feel during inhalation, Shanti at the lower end. Continue. So we are, you see, when you attend the satsang or you do the satsang by yourself, means you are doing a contemplation and reflection, and you will check that, oh, my mind is already calm and relaxed. It has no movement in the body. Sensation, comfort, and steadiness is already there. Oh, then I can move to mind to the breath. So it all depends on your experimentation so that you start becoming independent of the teacher. So the teacher in you is awakened. And then Shanti. And now leave that deep silence, slow breath. Just flow of the breath. Just be aware of the breath. And flow of the breath, you already know. The flow of the breath, the 3-point attention on the breath. The movement of the breath in and out. So you're not attached to it. So the mind does not trigger any change in the rate and the rhythm of the breath is the second point. And third is that you feel the sensation. Fourth point, you can add more points. What is the fourth point? We already understood. Fourth point is, oh, just check for a while if the flow of the breath is equal or not. If it is equal, good. Not equal, that too is good. You don't react. And now drop Om Shanti on the breath. So we are picking up that mantra again, Om Shanti. Om Shanti. I gave you an explanation of this mantra as a huge space that is your knowledge and understanding every time you say. But here is a caveat that I explained you in a couple of the sessions. Because the breath is too short and Om Shanti seems to be too long. So your perception works. Means you see when the moment the breath goes in, you see Om Shanti is there on the track of the breath. Breath comes out, you see the Om Shanti. That itself is dropping on. That is the meaning of dropping. Dropping means you are not making any effort. In other meditation practice that I designed, I said dropping Om Shanti is to harmonize the mind. I use the word harmony. Harmonica, harmony. You can get the idea that Mind is totally away from wandering, distractions, attachment and aversion is deeper within. Our masters always say first you should have a right knowledge, right understanding of the principle of Eastern wisdom. You should be very clear. And then you enter into the practice. And leave it, just return to the flow of the breath again. Now you're not doing Om Shanti, but just you're aware of the flow of the breath. The mind is harmonized with the flow of the breath, means it is not running after the distracted thought, wandering thought, or the ego thought. That you have to understand with the practice, so you have a good experience. Yes, and now you have to drop Om Shanti on the 16 segments of the fingers. I believe you all are aware of it. Means mentally you touch the first segment of the index finger. There are three lines, on every finger. And the fourth point is the top. You touch mentally the first line of the index finger at the beginning. So you touch mentally and then you touch it with Om Shanti. Then the mind moves on the second segment and then you say Om Shanti. Third segment like this, fourth. When you reach at the fourth segment, means the tip of the index finger, and your mind slightly jumps onto the tip of the second finger. Om Shanti like this, and then you move one after the other. Pay attention. Pay attention that you are not making any effort at all. It's a natural dropping of the mind with Om Shanti on the 16 segments of the fingers. You can recognize easily all the distractions are gone. So a kind of self-absorption is also noticed here. And that is a good point. That your mind continues with Om Shanti, with the segment of the fingers. And now leave this, move your mind inside the heart, visualize the triangle pointing upward, equilateral triangle. So you move your mind on each side of the triangle, dropping Om Shanti clockwise and anti-clockwise, as if you are handling the mind and checking mind. Are you ready to jump in? You're dropping Om Shanti one time clockwise, other time anti-clockwise. You already found the sync, and at that moment you push the mind deep inside the cave of your heart, singing mentally, loudly. Mentally means loud in the mind. Is pushing the mind deep inside the cave of the heart. The mind seems to stop, and there you drop Shanti. Done. You're not doing anything. You just enter into a waiting period, but at the same time, you undergo a variety of experiences, visions, images. But no worries, you are already an observer. You witness them, let them come and go. After all, when we reach to a point and we are face to face with something that never changes, that never comes and goes, that is constant, we have found. And now the chanting, you can do loudly or mentally if you are doing it loudly. One breath home, second breath, Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Yes, bring your mind on the right hand. Feel, be aware of the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down. And we'll share our experiences. Yes, David and Jerry.
Thank you. Very progressively deep meditation. I did have a little distraction physically. I got bit by something, not Juri, but something during the meditation. It was itching like crazy, but that was a good practice to kind of, understand that that's just the body. But interestingly for me this time going into the heart, it was like a switch went off when we started doing the triangle, and then just extremely deep and warm, comfortable, pure feeling. So thank you.
Beautiful. Beautiful. That is good. Titiksha, you should understand the six treasures: endurance, resilience. There is a deep relationship between, these insects or mosquito bites and meditation. Yes, Jerry.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, it was deep, relaxing, no disturbance.
Beautiful. Good. How are you, Stephen?
Good, sir. Thank you. My meditation was smooth, quiet, and peaceful. Thank you.
Beautiful. How are you, Samir?
Sir, one thing I want to say that mind is getting interested in peace. It getting interested in peace, and
Yes.
it losing interest in sometimes. Sometimes you are watching movie, you lose interest in between. You are
Yes.
watching a cricket match, you start losing interest, and mind tells you go into peace. So that is some different thing which is happening. That means since 3 4 months I have not watched a movie full. I watch it for 1 hour or half an hour or 2 hours and I leave it. I don't know. And
Yes. That is a perfect state. We start losing the idea of the pleasure or a short term happiness outside in the world of people, relations, events, things, possessions, etc. But it does not mean, it doesn't harm. It beautifies your relationship with the world. Previously, your relationship was triggered by the anxiety, emotions, possessions, but now it is with the discernment and dispassion. So that is beautiful. How are you, Dennis?
I'm fine, and my meditation was deep and peaceful. Uh, at the end, just a dark uniform space, no visions, no unusual experiences, just peace and calmness. So thank you.
Beautiful. That is beautiful. How are you, Barbara?
I'm very good, thank you. It was very peaceful, very quiet. I had no thoughts and no distractions whatsoever.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. Yes, Christina. I'm sorry to saying younger Christina. Yeah, let us say. You are also young, you know.
Thank you, Girish. I just had a very smooth, it was deep, and I want to find a different word for deep because it's just so vast, cushion, very
Yeah,
comforting space. And so I know, and
that
it's
is
so
deep.
familiar, but I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I just think
That
that
is deep. That is deeper. Beautiful. Yes, Christina. Rago.
Thank you. Just a very calm, dark, quiet, deep meditation.
So take this calmness to your job, to your relations today. How are you, Sangeeta?
सर मेडिटेशन बहुत काम और रिलैक्सिंग थी और सर अब जैसे वैभव ने बोला कि आर्ग्यू करने का मन नहीं करता हम कहीं पे भी कोई आर्गुमेंट है तो चुप हो जाती हूँ मैं कि कुछ नहीं फालतू
Yes,
की बात नहीं करनी है और पीसफुल रहता है
beautiful. She is saying that she doesn't feel like arguing because argument starts with opinion and assumption. And when you discern, you find there is no need to argue. You withdraw and you are happy. Normally, our impulsive mind feels, I'll be happy if I argue with you. Discerning mind says, I'm happy without argument. How are you, Vaibhav?
Thank you, sir. Sir, practice was calm, and like I was like this thing, seeing that when I was absorbing, the mind was dropping these thoughts, and the heaviness was created by this thought was also going away. So I was feeling very light and very free while
Yes,
doing that practice.
yes. These experiences, these kind of experiences will deepen, will be more and more in the following sessions as we progress. That's a good indication. I'm waiting. So once you have all those experiences, I will discuss in detail. Yes, how are you, Terry? If you want to say.
I am okay. I had a hallucination, I think.
In
That,
meditation?
yeah,
Very good. What hallucinations you had?
the window, it was a blue sky, and there
Okay.
were two tree branches, very leafy, were crisscrossed in the window, and I thought, oh, I thought it was my actual window, and I forgot that my eyes were shut.
Yeah.
And then I said, oh, maybe that's really the window. Then I opened my eyes for a second, and the window is not open. The blinds are down. So I was like, oh, wow, that was very real. It seemed real.
But the great thing is that you recognize it as a hallucination.
Eventually.
Yeah, when you recognize it's a hallucination, it is gone. But
Uh-huh.
when we bring that hallucination close to our heart, that is a big problem.
Oh.
So we have many kind of hallucinations. Don't you love me so much? Come on, you love yourself first. Like, Krishna is young, so I'm not saying anything. Normally, we have those feelings, and don't you love so much? But behind that love, we find a sense of attachment. We find a sense of possession, and that causes the problem in the future. So, listen to it again. Satsang, we will continue our journey next time. Thank you very much. Namaste.
Thank you, sir.
Namaste.
No.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaste.
थैंक यू सर